Thank you all for coming here to this presentation. My name is Rikupekka and this is To Infinity and Beyond with Plone 5. And I'll try to peek into our university's future with Plone 5, what challenges we will get and how we face them. There's going to be a lot of changes next year and the end of this year. And this is a story of how we're gonna overcome them. And I come from Jyväskylä, Finland. I've been a web developer since '96 and working with Plone since 2004. And I'm not that much of a programmer, but I do a lot of stuff through the web. And lately I've been also team leader for some 10 developers at our IT services. We do Python and Java and any shiny modern new JavaScript framework that's popular.
Every week?
Yeah, every week, new one. A couple of last years in Plone conferences I've been talking about what we have been doing in our university with Plone for the last 10 years. But this year I'm not looking back, but to the future, what the future holds for us. And this is for certain. There are going to be a lot of changes coming this year and next year and in the future also. I like these. There will be a new organizational structure in the beginning of next year. We are working, or an advertisement agency is working with a new brand and new theme, and there will be a new intranet built and new search engine, and of course we are gonna try to migrate to Plone 5 all our websites. So lots of changes coming. A couple of words for the current situation we are having. Okay, our university it does almost everything from humanities to hard sciences and education and sport sciences and stuff like that. And we are located in the Northern Europe, up there in Jyväskylä, in the middle of nowhere. And we have used Plone since 2004 from 2.05 and migrated from there to newer versions. A couple of links if you want to know more about that. We have done websites, but also lots of customized application and service development on Plone, so it's not all just website development. But this presentation I'm focusing on the website renewal. In our university, Plone affects everyone. Students, staff members, and of course the external users. There are about 50,000 students, and if you count the adult education students, there are about 40,000, and 2,600 staff members we are dealing with. Okay, some statistics. Some 2 million page views per month at our main website, 200,000 plus visitors, and about 200,000 content objects, pages and images and files and stuff, and hundreds of content editors around the university. Our website has been in Plone since 2005, so there's over 10 years of old content always migrated to newer versions. So there's lots of old stuff there. I'm not making this up, this is from Google Analytics, so the statistics are there. There is, when I watched the Annette's keynote today, I noticed that in her university all the departments had their own visual layout and they look different. In our university we have tried to keep the layout and theme as similar as possible in different departments. But lately there has been different sites we have created and different styles and different themes. In this year we released a new site for applicants and students, and also a new site for information, general information about University of Jyväskylä.
Sorry, when you are talking about sites, independent Plone instances?
Yes, independent Plone instances, yes. Yeah, main website and faculty sites and departmental sites and all different instances. But the same layout and theme in most of them until this year. A couple of examples. This is our front page, lots of links and text and boxes and stuff like that. A faculty front page, even more links in there, and a carousel. And this is the new information site. This is static HTML, not Plone at all. And this is the new apply and study site, which then again is Plone site, but a new theme in there also. It's been pretty stable since 2013, 14. We migrated to Plone 4.3, and people know what they get with Plone, and the theme works pretty well. It's solid and tweaked and responsive and so. But changes are coming inevitably. And these are the changes I already told you about. And let's talk about organizational changes first. We are dropping down to 6 faculties. We are combining faculties and departments. Then we are combining departments inside a faculty and moving departments under another new faculty. So that kind of change is coming. And these are the challenges for project management and support in this change. When there are those organizational changes, we need to consider many stakeholders and people's different ability to manage content. In some departments, people are pretty fluid with using Plone, and others not so much. And in some departments, they agree on how to manage the content, and in others, there's just 1 or 2 people and no communication between them. And of course, there's uncertainty of how these changes are going to affect everyone in there. Okay, we will have the new theme. We need to communicate it well, and we need to manage expectations and what they are expecting for the new theme to become. Then there's Plone 5. Then again, communication, expectations, what it will bring to them. Of course, new guides and training needed. Guides in Finnish, of course. We will have the intranet project in parallel with all these other changes, and we will have certain deadlines, which I think are actually pretty good thing, since if you have deadlines, if you have limitations, you have to focus on some things first, and usually that's a good thing. For the content editors, these changes mean they think, where do I work next year? Under which department? With the new theme, they might think, where is my email link? That's the most important thing for them. For Plone 5, we have these 2 times a year. We gather all the web editors and administrators together, and we have these information sessions for them, and we have been showing Plone 5 to them a couple of times now and telling them that it's going to be great and easy and so on. Okay, then the search. We have had feedback that search isn't that well. One thing is that you need to get rid of the obsolete content, the 100,000 old pages there are, and the editors think that it's their precious content. And if you try to educate the content editors that maybe you could do something for your titles and descriptions and stuff like that, sometimes they just say, it's okay, just fix the search engine, that's the problem. Yeah. And then the intranet project. And then again, they will ask, where is my email link? Students, well, they need to know what to eat today. And hopefully they will like the new theme. It's aimed for the young and hip and cool young students. About Plone 5, they don't need to know about that much. They are searching for lunches and looking for their email link in different places. Okay, developers. There are challenges for us. We need to create new sites. We need to move data between organization sites and do lots of migrations. We need to create a new theme using Diazo, and of course tweak it to work it really well. And new content types are probably needed too. About Plone 5, we have about 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 or something like that. Over 5 Plone 5 sites in production now, so we know pretty well what it does and what it doesn't. But those are quite small sites compared to these new department sites, so we are not sure if it does everything that Plone 4.3 did, and we have to react to that. Migrations, they are important. And the Intranet project, we are trying new Plone LDAP. We need to create new content types there and also do migration there. And of course, do something for the search engine, and I'll talk about that later more. So one does not simply do all this, but I'm hopeful because now the solutions. Plone 5, that's my solution to every problem out there. Problem solved, yeah, with Plone 5. The features are plenty. We have Barcelona Netat theme and Diazo in there. We have dexterity content types, mosaic layout, a big bonus, accessibility improvements, and someone told me that integrating JavaScript libraries would be easier. So this is what Plone 5 brings.
Who told you that?
About Plone, or Plone 5 as the platform, next year is coming quite soon. And this change happens actually quite soon. We didn't know about the organizational changes or the new theme and brand until this spring. So we had plans for this autumn already. But nobody actually questioned of using Plone still as the CMS platform. It has been working well, and changing the whole ecosystem would be pretty much work. Okay, we could use Plone 4 with new theme and organization, but what's the point? Newer is better, usually. Yeah. Here is our optimistic roadmap for this autumn and spring. Migrations, new Plone sites, a new theme, new portals, content pages, more migrations in November, intranet site migration. And one thing that we can already do is that we can have the content editors working on content already. We usually create preview sites for new departments. In this case, we migrate the old content, and even if the preview sites don't have the new theme installed yet, the content editors can already start working with the content. So we can do things in parallel. And in December, we hopefully have this new theme somewhat production ready for the main website. The minimal thing we need to get out in the beginning of next year is our front page portal and a couple of faculty front pages on this new theme.
The email link.
And the email link, yeah, in the intranet, of course. Yeah. In January, a couple of small releases, and rest of the spring, more migrations in departments and tweaking and stuff. Our users are accustomed to that everything doesn't change at the same time, at the same day. We have different instances, so we can do it instance at a time, department at a time, and that's quite okay. And next summer we are hopefully enjoying summer and sun. Okay, about the migrations. Migrations needed, mostly from Plone 4.3, some 4.1 and 4.2 sites there. And there's this decision that we are going to migrate most content, but not all of it. The University Communications Unit, which is organizing this whole renewal thing, they are ushering people to that you don't have to migrate all the old stuff, that you should get rid of the old stuff finally. And people are, that's okay for them. So hopefully we can get rid of some of the old content in this new change now. We'd like to go full dexterity, but we have these form gen forms much and lots of portal views, which I talk about later. We have lots of custom stuff, Plone Help Center, many help centers around, guides for staff and students. We have these portal view portals, Tutka pages and study guides which show data from our research data system and information from our study data system. We have Dynapage, which is kind of a portal itself with carousel and dynamic lists. Customized news items and events. We have collective roster for personal list and views. Of course, lots of form folders and some lingua Plone translation is used in a couple of sites also. And solution to this is that we migrate Help Center to just normal folders and pages and use categorization and maybe a couple of new views in there. Tutka page and study guide, they are already dexterity. We add a new theme to them and hopefully, or actually they will work in Plone 5 also. Dynapage we will replace with Mosaic. Customized news items and events, we add new theme on them also. And collective roster, it works in Plone 5 already. Form folder we will keep as it is, and lingua Plone will be replaced with Plone app multilingual. So there are solutions to these migrations already. Almost all of them. One thing that is tricky or needs work from us is replacing all our portals with Mosaic or something like that. Our portal view product contains these features. You can compose a customized layout. It's based on folders and Plone content. It's quite easy to use and really flexible, but it's not drag and drop and fancy and shiny in that way. There are evil carousels in there, but people want them. We have accordions and tabs and drop-down menus and unique IDs on every box element, which can be then customized with CSS on that page. Here are examples of these drop-down CSS boxes, carousels, accordions. Another example, more simple one, you can have portlets in there and you can have some boxes in the middle. And of course this one, this is also a portal view that has lots of custom CSS in that portal and some CSS in the theme itself. About Mosaic, there are some things that it is still lacking when you compare it to portal view. But portal view is arts type. But our solution is that during this time, we only have a couple of months, we will need to serve the portal views as they are, as archetypes in Plone 5 also at first. But we will introduce Mosaic, and we will try to get people to use it, and if they want to create new portals, they will use Mosaic. We can disable adding old portal views for the new sites. So the old ones will be there, but they can't create new ones. And technical details about migration, please ask Asko Soukka for more. He said these words: transmogrifier and all blueprints and pipelines. And I think he can do all of that stuff. Okay, about theming. About theming then. Our current theme is from around 2011. In my opinion, it's beautiful, clear theme, but it's stained with content. So there are round corners and shadows which are so 2010. It's really responsive and it's coherently used in most our sites. I wonder if examples here. It's pretty clean. If you wouldn't use like 15 portlets in that page, and here even more portlets, and people don't. They could easily hide the right portlet in there, but they don't for some reason. And as we work at the IT services and not the university communications, we can't make people to like hide all the unnecessary stuff there, but we try to educate the users to do minimal content there. Okay, changing the theme, there are challenges, and one challenge is next year we will have at least 5 different themes around. We have the current 4.3 theme, then we have this Plone 5 theme that resembles the current university theme, which is actually, that is clean and quite pretty right now. We just changed the logo and some colors in Barceloneta, and it looks like University of Jyväskylä website, so that's great. We have this theme for the student site and theme for introduction site, and of course the new brand theme will be coming. Yeah, this is Plone 5 with university theme right now. Logo, colors, simple, clean. And this is Plone 5 edit view, some carousel in there also. We will be using that for some of the pages. Actually, next week we are releasing this one department site that is Plone 5 and has the old theme on Plone 5. Let's see how that goes. Okay, the new theme is based on this refreshed brand called Unity. It's mobile first, and it is aimed for the young and hip external audience. We have tried to give feedback to the advertising agency about some things on the new theme, but they just say that you're just old, you don't get it. So it's their vision, and we are following that. There will be large images, videos, white space, and lots of social media integration. It should be modern and clearly different from before. And they have this tagline: if no one gets angry, nothing changes. So let's hope someone gets angry with the new theme. There will be huge images. This is a draft version of the front page or the part of it. Duotone images, some videos, really clean menu, not that much links in one screen. A new logo in there also. When you scroll the page down, there will be pictures of researchers and staff members and students, lots of large pictures and some university colors used in there. This is a draft version of faculty front page. There will be this really fancy hover over, click over navigation thing in there. And this is just the most important thing with this new theme. How does the simple content page look like? This is not so different from the old one, but it's quite clean and nice. And this is the pop-up navigation. There will be challenges with this huge navigation menu opened in a pop-up, and maybe with search integrated in that also, but let's see how that goes. Mobile first, yes, it will be nicely mobile with dynamic menu. Okay, challenges. Of course, we have to create this theme on Plone. We have to have the box layout, but it should be easy to edit anyway. There are heavy emphasis on images. It needs good quality images. It needs to be responsive and needs to be accessible. How accessible is the pop-up navigation? We don't know yet. Solutions are a Diazo, mosaic layout. It can be copied as templates, and when it comes to images, we will use this duotone effect, so you can slap different kind of images in there and add this effect, and they all look kind of same. I hope that works well.
Are you using CSS Max?
Probably JS, but yesterday there was a presentation about using just CSS to do the duotone effect. It doesn't work in some browsers, but maybe we'll use both. I don't know. It should be responsive, this theme. It's built on Barcelona Neta in some ways, so it is responsive. More info about Diazo and prototyping you can find in this fantastic conference. Really good presentations on Diazo also. And about the accessibility, they say that Plone 5 is really accessible, so that will work underneath everything. Okay, Intranet and Search. These are challenges also. By intranet, we mean a page or site with internal news and events, useful links for stuff, like email link. There will be internal guides, some viewing restrictions by IP area or permissions, and dedicated good search to search only for the intranet content. We have many intranets already in our university. We have one portal in Plone for all stuff, which has lots of links in there. And there are departmental intranets which are more restricted for only the department users.
Do you just use a standard Plone site, or there used to be an intranet Plone product?
We use just standard Plone site, yeah, and intranet workflow in there. So out of the box Plone usage in there. Some departments don't have any intranet. They use email and some other means of communicating things. And IP restrictions is not a very good idea for viewing, but we use that for some reason. This is an example of our intranet. Lots of links and news, and even more news and events and more news, and then the email link somewhere in there. New intranet will be released on January, hopefully, with Plone 5. It's a portal for all stuff, and there will be place for new departmental intranets. We are separating this. This new intranet will be its own instance, own Plone site. The old one was underneath the public site, but this will be separated. We move all the internal guides in there, and there will be a new way to publish news items and events across public and internet sites. We use new Plone LDAP. Just last week we got it running quite well, so I'm hopeful of using that. And there will be this dedicated Plone search. Yeah, these are the search problems I mentioned already, but hopefully they will be fixed by changing the search engine and educating the content editors. And separating the intranet content from the public one, that will be a huge bonus for making search better. And one thing, of course, is the going through the analytics data and refine the search results. And usually Plone is very search engine friendly. Okay, next. Yeah.
Which solution do you use for student intranet? It's not Plone, or it's...
Yeah, student intranet, it's Plone, yeah. It's just a, it's not, well, it's not intranet, it's a site with information for students. So there's...
Information or...
Yeah, it's public information, all of it, yeah. Good point. Next, some feedback on Plone. This is what happens when I demo Plone 5 to our content editors. They want Plone right now. This is great after a demo. But then after people have actually used it, I created a survey using Plone FormGen, and 4 people answered. But this is something, it's 4 more than other than me. So this is fresh feedback for Plone 5. This user 1 is a web developer, full stack. He used other systems beforehand. Compared to previous Plone versions, this is modern. Some glitches might be there in Plone 5.0, but works well. Fairly easy to create structure for a site. Managing navigation might be difficult for non-techie. Yeah. About Mosaic, it's a huge improvement. Creating tables is easy and stuff like that. User 2 has a technical background of fluent user of browsers and some HTML, has used Plone 4 before. Impressions are quite okay. Portlet term is found confusing. Also confusing the ability to create news and events in everywhere instead of dedicated folders. Of course, we could switch that off and only restrict adding news and events in certain folder. Creating pages is pretty easy, and creating more defined layouts might be troublesome, but in this site we didn't have Mosaic yet, so I wonder what he or she thinks about that. User 3 is fluent user of browsers, has used other CMSs before. First impressions looking good. And he or she likes how he can manipulate order of content and what is shown in the navigation. Creating pages works well. Linking content works well. He misses the full screen option in the TinyMCE and the undo option. I don't know, that's missing in Plone 5. It's in the ZMI. There is the undo option.
Yeah, it was never in Plone.
Yeah. User 4, he uses browser and office applications. Has used WordPress. First impressions pretty confusing. Okay. Basically not hard to manage content, and he compares to Episerver. Editing feels clumsy, but yeah, you can also create different types of pages more easily in Episerver and create custom layouts like putting 2 text boxes and images side by side, making content look more interesting. This Plone 5 site didn't have Mosaic, so the answer would be different after using Mosaic. And these are general comments about Plone 5. The new toolbar is a huge improvement. I like the new toolbar. Generally, Plone 5 feels much more modern when compared to the previous version. And I have a lot of WordPress experience. In some way, Plone feels lacking. It might be different. Lots of small bugs in Plone 5, perhaps. But Mosaic is good and works well. So this is the feedback from four users about Plone 5. Okay, I still have a couple of minutes. Other challenges we are having: accessibility, checkout drops and polls presentations, but the requirements for accessibility are increasing at EU also, and our university also. This is true. All content under our main website will not be ready in January. There are partly new content, front page portals, partly old content, and how to deal with that. We use something called fallback director in Varnish, and it works like this. There's a request, and this fallback director goes to the new site. If the content is not there, it redirects to the old site. In this way, we can gradually show new content from the new site and still have the old content in the old site, and all the links and addresses stay the same.
So you have to go in and the site maps between the two sites have to correspond?
No, everything just works. If you're looking for an old address that's on an old site, it goes there. If the address is already in the new site, it goes there. And more information about that from Jussi Talaskivi at our university. Okay, summary. One does not simply do all these changes, but luckily Plone community and open source is awesome. I came here yesterday with lots of these challenges and problems, and by the end of the first day I have heard all this stuff. This accessibility improvements in Plone 5, tools, new guides. About form folder, someone has created migration to easy form for dexterity. Mosaic 2.0 is on the way. The new Plone training site is just published, that's wonderful. And Plone 5.1 is coming, fixing the small bugs in Plone 5. So thank you everybody for doing all this work for Plone. About Plone 5, it's still Plone. It's familiar to our users, our content editors, but it's new and shiny. Modern, fast, accessible, dexterity, mosaic, and stuff like that in there. And feedback, as we went through, it's generally positive. It feels modern, and everyone likes mosaic. So, to infinity and beyond with Plone, regardless of the version. Thank you. Any questions?